everyone, it's Kathy and welcome back to our Tuesday recorded video. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you saw my previous video earlier, then you saw me showing this beautiful designer series paper that are online exclusives. And I had told you that this paper would make this card beautiful. I'm really leaning toward doing it with one of these papers because they are so pretty. I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use. Do you ever run into that dilemma? Which paper do I use? It's also pretty. I'm actually thinking, it's so hard to decide. I'm actually thinking I'm going to use this piece. This is so Christmassy and it's beautiful, but I also love the back of it, and that's what you want to look for when you're doing one of these particular cards. We're going to do one out of this, and I think I'm going to do another out of, let's see if I can get this back in my little sleeve. And then this one is called Garden Walk, and it is 6x6 designer series paper. This one's called A Walk in the Forest, and this one I want to use this piece right here. You know, they're both going to be similar. No, maybe I'll change my mind on this one. Let's go with this first sheet. I was looking at this one. Yeah, let's go with this one instead of this one. You know, here I go, changing my mind again. It's okay. It's what I do. Now, for this one, I need to decide what colors I want to use. And I'm going to look at this one first, and I'm going to decide. The first thing I want to do is I want to cut my piece out of this, and for my piece I need it to be 3 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and get 3 3/4 this way, and then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut it to 4 this way. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to line it up in our track, and we're going to cut it diagonally. So line that up on the tip on both sides. Put this in right here, up and down. You're going to get 2 triangles, and I think I need to change my blade because I'm starting to get some little fraying on there. So we're gonna go with that for right now. I'm just gonna take a sanding block. This is just a nail sander, and anytime you get some little fraying on your paper or your cardstock, just use it. You can get a paper sanding block. These work just as good, and you can get these at the Dollar Tree or at Walmart. And I'll even look and see if they have them on Amazon. I'm sure they do. And I'll put one of these up for you to purchase if you would like. Alright, I'm going to lay those up out of my way, and now I need to find what color I want for my card base. For this one, I think I'm going to use the, I want to use the Calypso Coral. And I do, and I already have a card base cut, so I'm going to score this. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to fold it like this. And just make sure when you're folding, sorry about my frog in my throat. When I do this, I want to make sure that this is folding very even, and it's off just a hair. But that's okay. We can still even it up. Just like that. And we need one more color, and I want the color of that. You know, that Lost Lagoon would be so pretty. It would really bring everything out, wouldn't it? Let's grab Lost Lagoon and see how subtle that is, but it's so pretty. So we're going to do a matte in Lost Lagoon, so this needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to be our mat. And then this is where these pieces are going to come in, and we're going to put one like this and one like this. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the way that looks. And what we're going to do when we put this down, and I'd like to thank Lisa Freeman for this card design. Now I'm not sure if it's hers or if she saw this somewhere else, but I saw it on her channel, so I'm going to give a shout out to Lisa Freeman. So I'm going to lay that down like so, and this one down like this. And this one looks a little bit long. So when it looks a little bit long, we just need to come down a little bit more. Double check and make sure they are the same. So I'm going to turn this one over and put it down here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to lay that one there, and then I'm going to bring this one up and layer it right here. So let's put some liquid glue, and I'm going back in with my glue press. And I may have to poke my hole this time because I haven't used this over the weekend. So I'm just going to screw my top back into my glue and then bring it back out. I'm going to stick that back on. And let's see how this one's working now. Beautifully. And so I'm going to bring this one up to the top and all the way over. Like that. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over, and we're going to put glue on it, just like we did that one. That needs to come over just a hair more. just like that. And now you've got that beautiful little stripe going down the middle. But we're going to take this a step further and we are going to run it through an embossing folder. So I'm going to grab Time Worn, no, I think I want the other one. This is a newer one. And this one is called Exposed Brick. So I'm going to lay this in. I'm going to line it up right to that mark right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine. Let's see what we have. Oh, and that beautiful. That really does make a beautiful showing on this card. So let's lay this back over here. And now this is ready to go onto our card base. Something like that. I'm going to actually trim just a tiny bit off of this, and I will adjust these measurements. I'm just going to take like 1/8 of an inch off of that bottom, and I will adjust that in my measurements. And I think I want it to go like this. I think I'm going to put one more mat under there, and I think this mat is going to be white. So I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock and we're going to cut this to 4. Four by 5 1/4. I think, nope, that's not going to work. Okay, all right, we're gonna can the white and just go with this. So we're going to put this down on our. I'm going to go back and I'm going to revisit this card, and I'm going to figure out how I can put that down on a different color with that working for me. So, but for right now, for the sake of this video and this card, we're going to put this down like so. All right. So I'm going to use my liquid glue on the back of this, and I'm just going to get a good amount of glue all around the edges. Anytime that you're gluing onto a piece of cardstock that you've embossed, and we call this dry embossing, you're going to want to make sure you get plenty of glue on it. So I'm going to lay this down, make sure that it's opening in the direction I want it to. Just like that. Open it and give it a good press. And now we need a piece of white for the inside. So we'll use that piece that we cut for our matte inside. And then we're going to need to do something here, and I'm going to use this and a piece of Lost Lagoon. So I'm going to cut or punch using my handmade tag. Punch. I'm going to punch one in the Lost Lagoon. Or do I want to do that in Calypso Coral? So we'll just cut one out of the Calypso Coral, and we'll cut one out of our basic white. And this is going to be very pretty together. So what we're going to do is we're going to decorate this by just offsetting this like so. But I want to stamp something on the first one, the one in the white. And let's find a sentiment. Let me go and look for a sentiment, and we will be right. Alright, I'm back, and I found this stamp set, Sentimental Park, from our annual catalog, and I'm going to use Thinking of and the word you from the stamp set. So I'm going to grab a stamp block, and I'm going to pick that up. And I think I'm going to do it in the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to ink that up and then bring that down and stamp it right about there. Thinking of you. And I'm thinking I want to do some little flowers on the back of this. Oh. And I'm thinking maybe these, because these are going to fill in. So I'm thinking maybe right across here like that. So I'm going to pick that up like that, and I'm going to ink it, but I'm going to use a Post-it note to stamp off on, and then stamp off right here. And maybe one more time over to this side. And then why not one more time up here at the top. And that gives us a lot of looks of texture on here in that beautiful Calypso Coral. And then I'm going to layer this like that. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue, and I got to remember I don't want it all over it. I just need it a little bit right there. Then we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals right about here, and I think I want to run a little ribbon under it. So I'm going to look for, this is my bordered ribbon Lost Lagoon, and I think for this I just want to use a little piece on the back of this, and I think I'm gonna do this back like that, and then maybe back like this. And let's do some Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to run some across here like this, and like that. Sometimes that's my better alternative. So then I can lay it here, double it there, and then bring it back down to here. Something like that. Then we can turn that over. I think I want another little piece going across here. And I can just trim that off right about like that. Yep, that's perfect. So I'm going to close this ink pad before I put my hand in it. And I want to put some dimensionals. I'm going to put one dimensional here. And one right there. Let's do one right there. And maybe one right about there. And one right there. I think I'm going to put one right here in this corner. And one up here in this corner. Make sure they're not showing off of the edge, and that one is showing a little bit, so we're going to pull it down. That's good. Now I'm just going to pull the backers off of these. And then we can just put this down right about here. So we've got a little ribbon on this card and a little bit of offset, but let's see if we want to put some sparklies on it. And I think these would be so pretty on this card. They're a little darker, but I think they'll show up beautifully. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pull one big one, and I'm going to set this one right about here, and maybe one small one that can go right about there. Let's get another big one and bring it right down here in the corner. Maybe one more of the smaller ones, maybe right here. I love that. I think it's so pretty. So then the only thing left to do is decide what we want to do for the inside, and I think for it, I'm going to pull back from this stamp set, and I'm going to use this little grouping of flowers right there in the corner. About like that. And I'm going to stamp that in Calypso Coral. And these are going to be more solid, and that's okay. Let's see if we want to stamp off. Let's stamp off so we don't get quite as bold of an image. Just like that. So pretty. And if you wanted to, you could go back. Let's lay this right here just for a moment. We could come in with this. fill it in. How pretty is that? So let's grab the Lost Lagoon because I think it would look cute with some leaves. We've got some cute little leaves on here. Let's grab these two right here. And we can have some little leaves coming out from the bottom right about there. I think those would be cute. And we'll just use this to go under it so that we don't mess up underneath. And we'll just use that to stamp on. How's that? So that's great with the Post-it notes that actually stick to your desk. So Lost Lagoon, we're just going to follow through with that same color palette. And we'll pick those up right there. And it looks like we got some leaves just coming off. Let's see if we can get another set of leaves and maybe have these coming this direction. That's pretty. And on the inside of this one, I think I'm going to put Dear Friend. This is the one I want. You are amazing. So this one is going to say, Dear Friend, about like that. Let's see if we can pick that all up in one shot. And I'm going to do this in Calypso. Love it. So now all we have to do is pop that inside of our card. And this card is done, and I hope you've loved it. I'm going to go back and revisit this because I'm thinking if we cut these in a different orientation, I can probably get another mat under there. So I'm going to try something. Before I come back and revisit this, I'm going to have it down just a little bit better than I did. Alright, and there is our card. I hope you've enjoyed this. If this is a card that you would like to remake, leave me a message and let me know that you really loved it. And I will definitely be going back and revisiting this design. I think it's so pretty. I love the embossing. There's something about embossed cards that just takes it up another level. I hope you've enjoyed it. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Until next time, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.